What is up, guys? This is Team Ubermans right here, and right now we have the first place champion at the ARG Fort.Lauderdale for Vanguard.
So confused as fuck the whole time.
What deck did you pilot?
Shadows. The darkness.
Darkness.
Like my skin, the darkness.
How's the deck pilot for you? Oh, darkness. Perfect.
That's pretty. What is that?
Is that the Yu-Gi-Oh card for Lord Darkness? Let's ignore that. So, how good was Shadows the whole turn? How did you do in Swiss?
I went 4-1.
4-1. What'd you lose to?
My only loss was a Think Saver, but that game was like awkward because I didn't draw Blast Dark Avenger Abyss
Early game to get rid of the starter.
So then things got out of hand real quick, and that nigga saw like every trigger.
Because on the video for the game when you fought the Think Saver guy in round 4, that was just the correct term would be an ass whooping.
That's the same guy that beat me in
oh, okay.
So I that was
because while we were talking in the commentation, get away, Eric. While we were talking in the commentations, we were mentioning that if you kill the starter early game, it makes Think Saver a lot harder.
It's a win. Because that's one less card from the soldier. They had to draw trigger, and then with pressure being put on them, they don't have time to actually use that card as guard. They have to keep the card in hand. Usually, end up having the guard with it. So either go to the excess amount of damage, or they just get the free soul charge. But then at that point, it doesn't matter.
What were the cards to you that were like the all-star cards of the deck? During the game,
monster?
the side,
the boss monster.
The boss monster counts too.
Of course, he wins. He did all the work. But honestly, this is one tech choice that I made, which was running 2 Cormac, because literally my reason was he's not Mordred, and that's the reason. Because Mordred is searchable in the deck via Sword Lancer.
Yeah, the grade one, yeah.
Judge Bal can search for him if I get Sword Lancer off. Mana can drop a Mana Sword Breaker, drop a Cormac for a Mordred. So if I really need Mordred that bad, I wish to get to him. But Cormac's main purpose was he was a target he was a Legion unit. And it allowed for me to actually have ways of putting triggers back if I didn't draw an Abyss.
And kill the Sword Breakers, and he's the only unit in your deck right now that can kill Sword Breaker. Unless you play, old Phantom.
I'm not doing that. But like he just honestly he did what he's supposed to do that whole day. Besides him, the boss monster obviously did 90% of the work because it's the boss monster. I run him at 4 for a reason. And Blast Dark Avenger Abyss, because even though everybody thinks that Phantom Blast is the real best card in the deck, it's the best card in the deck. That ability to just kill a star at the beginning of the game for no reason and then still be able to rush them and not even waste that many counter blasts to do it is pretty ridiculous. So,
what'd you play in Swiss?
3 Think Saver. That was rounds 1 through 3 was Think Saver. Round 4 I played Kagero, and then round 5 I played Genesis.
All right.
Which the only, I guess out of all is my worst matchup I didn't really have a bad matchup all those games because Genesis I could outrush them. She was great locked. But if I had held back on the great lock or on the rush for any reason, that would have killed me. The second I realized she was great locked, I just put as much as I could on the board just to swing because I play Genesis, so I know that this matchup is terrible for them. They cannot win that game. It's just not a good game for Genesis overall. They lose to Paladins. Paladins just beat the crap out of them. It's terrible.
It just rushes them too fast.
Yeah.
And then restanding Vanguards, and then the Glory skill with Glare is just, and not only that, the grade 2 rush for Paladins is a very powerful thing.
Yeah, it's very easy for me to outrush Genesis
and get free rear guards. So
yeah, especially this deck.
All right.
Nothing get a field.
So you want to start with a quick little deck profile?
Sure. I know people were asking online about what us running in the deck.
All right, so obviously the starter is Judge Bal.
Judge Bal, freest card in the deck. He's still broken. I don't care what anybody says. he's so broken you have to play him as a starter if you're playing Phantom. Judge amazing.
Especially with that errata ruling and set 15.
Yeah, hit anything, free. For grade 3s, I run the 2 Cormac. He's one of the MVPs of the deck.
That
2
free
Mordred,
crit.
just because Break Right over Abyss is like a win. It's just a win. Like 32 twice is a stupid high number when you're getting field for free and you're gaining hand from it. It's too much for people to handle. And then the 4 Abyss, because let's be honest here, he does all the work. He does all the work. This card is just busted, and it's still good. It's gonna be really good even in Stride because I only ran 2 Stride units because I didn't get 2 more in time, but I only needed 2. I actually did not get Great Lock, which is great, but so I never actually had the G assist. But whenever I strode, it just built up my hand and made this turn.
Especially with that ruling with Judge Bao.
Yeah, this basically striding made this deck a little bit more, I guess, efficient. Because now, even if I ride him first and I have to sit on him for a long period of time, I can just drop extra great things I don't need to stride, do more pressure to my opponent, deal more damage, and take the hits. And then when I do actually Legion, so I can use my field in that turn, they don't have the hand for it anymore. So either they have a bunch of damage and they lose all the hand, or they don't have the hand, period, and it just goes downhill for the opponent. So it's just a win-win in my case. For grade 2s, I run three McCart. So amazing. Like, it's just free 2 McCarts, no like empty field, Legion, free field. It's great.
There's the cause right there.
I still love that card. 2 mana
for that grade 2 rush.
For the grade 2 rush. Like, it's literally mainly the most reason for it. It also allows for me to search for the Mordred if I need it, and thin out the deck by searching out for the Mordreds, so it helps. 2 Blaster Dark Revenger because I run Dorant in the deck.
You want on flip damage?
Yeah, on flip damage, make a business skill easy, at least cheaper. And then Legion Mate MVP.
You gotta run 4. Gotta run 4.
4 because Legion, and 4 because he's just amazing. You draw him opening game, you like 2 things saver every time you open him up every game. If you play against the deck, any that needs a starter, they just lose to this. Any that can't build a field, they lose to this. It just makes winning the game 1,000 times easier for you, which is always nice. For grade 1s, I actually run 3 Perfect Guards and 1 Quintet Wall. I run the Quintet Wall for 2 reasons. There are situations, which if most of you that play the game do know this, there are times where your triggers are just never there. So
yeah.
You want to get into the deck to get to those triggers, this helps. There's situations where I have extra damage but no break ride, and I want a Legion very quickly, so this helps a lot because I get to keep my hand. So if they're doing a lot of Vanguard-based pressure, this allows me to help playing against decks that like fuck with my field. I'd rather just have to get out, just to guard with 1 card. That 1 counterblast is very minimal against most matchups, because only time I need that 1 counterblast at the beginning of the game is for the Blast Dark Avenger Abyss. In most cases, this actually did a lot of work throughout the weekend.
All right.
2 Shadow Lancer, searchable, Mordred Searcher, great.
Yeah.
Love the card. 4 Masquerade, 10k attacker. Rush is great. That's all you need. If you can rush, you win. At least for me, that's how it works. If I can rush, I won most of the games. 3 Dorant, because Blast Dark's in the deck, unflipper. And then 1 Swordbreaker because
you don't want to draw into
it. And you don't draw a card. Not running 2 is too much. Because honestly, not drawing it makes it really bad. And then just to add insult to injury, if you get 2, you have to now replace those like these Swordbreakers with something else. You have to put something over these Swordbreakers, so you're still wasting hand. So the draw is kind of pointless. It's just 1, I can just move it out of the way, have a column and like a booster behind the Vanguard. That's a whole area to retire.
Yeah.
It's still on the field. So then I can Mac Cart and just get rid of 1. But I don't really have to focus too much on it, which is the reason why she's good at 1 in the deck.
Show your lineup.
8 crit.
Standard.
For damage. 4 draws, my bad. 4 draws.
And 4 heal.
For hand advantage and 4 heal.
Alright, just standard.
Really simple. But overall, the whole tournament scene, it was challenging.
What was your hardest game? What was your easiest game?
My hardest game was against Samuel. I don't know his full name.
Oh, the Go Paladin guy.
Yes, the Go Paladin guy. Top 8. Not so much because it was a bad matchup, but literally because of the fact that we both saw nothing for like the first 3 turns.
Oh, no triggers the whole game?
Like the beginning of the game, we didn't see any triggers, so it was literally just like a slugfest, and it only made the game harder. Then when it got because he had a field and I had no triggers, it made it bad for me. But then I would kill his field, but I didn't hit any triggers, so we just got right back to square 1. So nothing changed. So that made it bad, but then Stride helped a lot because it actually built my hand back up. And then I think I reset twice that game, so it really fixed my hand up. So it made it a little bit easy, made the matchup easier for me. The easiest matchup was in top 4 against the Royal Paladin guy. That game was there was no moment in that game where I was frightened. I was even like threatened by what he was doing. And that's when I was like, okay, this is gonna be an easy matchup because I already know I know the Thingsaver matchup really well. So
he plays mine.
Yeah. So playing against it was like nothing. That's pretty much the gist of it. Those like the 2 hardest matchups. That's the hardest and easiest matchup. The most interesting game I had though was against was when I played against in top 2 against the leaders, just because that's the first time I actually had to stride against the leaders. So I was like, it's a good thing I have 2 of these, because they're gonna come and work now.
Because you almost never see the leaders in tournament.
Yeah, he was the only one playing the leaders that day.
Yeah, he was the only one.
That's just of it. That's pretty much the whole day for me.
Well, alright guys, that's Team Movements right here. Our fellow member Devin with his Shadow Paladins. Now we have 3 members who have topped. Alright guys, this Team Movements, and now we're signing off.